казати, за що їх Бог істребив тут. Поклонялися, вулкани взриваються, поклонялися всяким ідолам, жертвоприношення приносили, ж написано, що люди крепко поганими стали. Або руку сюди поставити і воно відео включить. Це як вони світло, що було всередині. Оце що. Руку поставити і вона покаже зараз. Але яка архітектура? Вентиляція туди заходить, коли воно виходить. Сюди заходить. Це як вони брали чисту воду. І куди відходи всі виходили. Всі відходи як відходили. Все, бачите, це виїзд. Це виїзд, як показує. Тобто всі відходи відвезуть, скидають туди, а це їх так грузить. Інтересно. А зараз як чисту воду вони беруть. Клин-ватер як вони беруть. Типа дощ іде. Якісь резервуари стоять до резервуари. наповнює воду. Це ликвид вимова. Типу, звіри п'ють, по трубах збігає кудись, а сюди в воду по трубах збігає воно. Тоді ви це інтересно. Крепко інтересно.
Good question. When I was a young boy, much of the world was beautiful, and many people still loved and served the Creator. But the generations that followed grew extremely corrupt and violent. The world became such a dreadful place. God is now washing it clean. You are here for a reason, my friend. Well, God gave me the basic instructions to build the ark. Go for wood, 300 by 50 by 30, and that guided all that we did. I've been building boats most of my life, but of course never anything this large. So it took me a while to plan the construction, and there were some difficulties to overcome. But God is wise and knows everything, and He provides all we need. Do you have any more questions?
Це задаєш вопрос.
Well, back to work for me. Oh my, local flood? Who told you that? God said He was going to wipe out all flesh that lived on land. If He was speaking only of a local flood, it seems like God would have told me to move instead of spending decades building this ark. Plus, I wouldn't have needed to bring the flying creatures, since they could easily get away from a local flood. Do you have any more questions? Back to work for me. Let me think.
Well, John answered your question.
Це ти просто задаєш, нажимаєш сюди.
Yes. How long did it take to build the ark? Well, after our boys grew up, God told me His plans. He said the ark would be for me, my wife, our sons, and our sons' wives. It took us several decades to build the ark. But that was after years of designing it, collecting supplies, and preparing the site. Any more questions? Well, back to work. Haha, that's a good question. My favorite animal. There are so many to choose from. Ooh, I like the tiny hovering bird that can fly in all directions, even backwards. My wife, she likes that tall, long-necked brown and white animal with the fuzzy knobs on its head. Good question. These two birds are here because my lovely wife Imzara, who's always been good with animals, wanted to train them to fetch items and carry messages. These were the best of all the birds she tried. Right, dear?
Yes, dear.
I don't know what we'll do with them yet, but I'm sure they'll come in handy. Do you have any more questions? How many animals are on the Ark? That's a good question. There are about 1,400 kinds of animals on the Ark, and this works out to be fewer than 7,000 animals. I don't remember the exact numbers. I put my son Shem in charge of keeping track of those details. Any more questions? How was I able to fit all the animals? Good question. But fitting the animals on the Ark was actually not too difficult. You see, God knew just how big the Ark would need to be. So his instructions were perfect to fit all the animals and all the needed food and supplies. And thankfully, God didn't send the largest of each kind.
600 years.
It doesn't.
What? Oh, I should know this one. Imzara's listening. We've been married for a little over 550 years. Has it been that long already? My, how time flies. Oh, you can see reminders of our anniversaries on that shelf over there. Imzara, my dear, you do love that letter. Any more questions?